Now, the fifth flight carrying Indian nationals from Ukraine landed at the Delhi airport this morning. The flight with 249 nationals originated from Bucharest in Romania, one of the European countries from where stranded Indian nationals are being flown back to the country. The passengers praised the Indian embassy officials for their safe evacuation and said the main problem is crossing the border.
My name is Prachi Priyambada. And I was a medical student. I am a medical student over there. I was studying in Ukraine for 3 years. At the border, while there were very rushes at the border, but once we crossed it, we felt good. That Indian embassy is doing a good job over there.
My name is Pranchal Prachi. And एक्चुअली हम लोग बॉर्डर क्रॉस करके आए थे, बट हमको इंडियन एम्बेसी ने बहुत ही हेल्प किया, प्रोटेक्ट किया है. हमको कुछ दिक्कत नहीं आई है, सिर्फ बॉर्डर क्रॉस करने में ही दिक्कत आई है बिकॉज ऑफ बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के बच्चे थे. दैट्स वाई हमको प्रॉब्लम आई है, बट हमको इंडियन एम्बेसी ने बहुत हेल्प किया.
आज ही हम लोग आए हैं और गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत ज़्यादा हमारी मदद करी है. ऑल्दो जो बॉर्डर के उस पार था वो कंडीशन कुछ अलग ही है, बट जैसे ही हम ये बॉर्डर क्रॉस करते हैं रोमानिया का, उसके बाद जो कंडीशन मिलती है, जो हमें हेल्प मिलती है गवर्नमेंट से, वो वाकई ही बहुत ही सराहनीय है कि हम लोग बहुत ही ज़्यादा अप्रिशिएशन करते हैं गवर्नमेंट का कि काफ़ी ज़्यादा अच्छी फैसिलिटीज़ प्रोवाइड करी हैं.
So the big priority to evacuate Indians stranded in Ukraine, and here you can see visuals from inside that fifth flight that arrived in the Delhi airport just a short while ago. It arrived earlier this morning. Over 1,000 students have been brought back under Operation Ganga to evacuate students who are stranded there in Ukraine. Now, many of them are talking about how it's difficult to cross the border, but once they do manage crossing the border is when then embassy officials can help them. In fact, many disturbing videos have been coming of the situation at the border where students are even being beaten. And Congress leader Rahul Gandhi tweeted that my heart goes out to the Indian students suffering such violence and their families. Watching these videos, no parent should go through this. Government of India must urgently share the detailed evacuation plan with those stranded as well as their families. We can't abandon our own people, though, as we mentioned, the Prime Minister also held an emergency meeting yesterday evening on the evacuation of students. Let's go across to Akshay, who joins us for more. And Akshay, so a fifth flight has come in. Some over 1,000 students so far have been brought back under Operation Ganga. 5 flights have come in, but the worry remains about the students who are stranded there, many on the border, many still hiding in bunkers.
Well, exactly, Gargi, that is the biggest concern. As far as the number of students who have come in, number of Indians who have reached back in these 5 flights are concerned, they are mostly the students who were living on the western borders of Ukraine. Because they were the first to reach to Poland, to Romania, Romania being the country that had the largest number of flights that took off after the war started in Ukraine, to India. Four of the 5 flights have come from Bucharest, the capital of Romania. One has come from Budapest, that is the capital of Hungary. So the big concern that remains is still the safety and the evacuation of all the Indians who are living on the eastern part of the country. And the largest number of Indians are in fact living on the east of the country, including Kharkiv and Ivano-Frankivsk. Also in the northern part, there is Kiev, where a lot of students are studying, mostly medical students, and that also remains a concern. In Kharkiv, we have seen that how the Russian army has been trying to enter the city, take over the city, and there has been intense fighting going on between the Ukrainian and the Russian forces. So how exactly the government plans to evacuate the students who are hiding in the bunkers, in the basements, because the even the basic supplies, the groceries, the gas that is required to keep the areas warm, that is in shortage. There is a constant disruption to even the electricity there in these areas. And while the Indian embassy had tweeted saying that all the students, all the people, all the Indians who are stuck in the eastern part, they should move ASAP to the western border, which is relatively safer because there is a conflict going on there as of now, and they can be evacuated to Poland, to Hungary, to Romania, and other countries that have in fact agreed to evacuate Indians and take in Indians without visas. So the big concern that remains is that how they will transport, because even people who were living in the western borders, they had a difficult time reaching Poland borders, reaching the borders of Hungary and Romania. So the journey will be quite difficult, and it's going to be very long for these students. Yes, the Ukrainian government has started trains from Kiev, But the question that still remains is about the safety of students who are not in Kiev and in different provinces of Ukraine. Gargi?